When you see this video, you're going to think I'm messing with you, that it's just another one of my dumb jokes or surprises that starts with a smile and ends with just kidding. But I'm telling you now, this isn't a prank. I really signed the papers for you. It's done. Final, signed, sealed, real. And I know your heart probably just skipped. I know your first reaction will be to laugh, shake your head, maybe even call me and say, "No way, stop playing," but I'm not playing. This is for real. And I need you to understand why I did it. You've always carried too much. I've watched you take hit after hit from life. And somehow, you just kept moving, kept pushing, kept working. Even when nobody clapped for you, even when no one asked how you were doing, you never stopped. But I saw you. I saw every tired morning, every late night, every quiet side, when you thought no one noticed. I saw the way your eyes dimmed when another bill came, or when another door closed, or when you had to put your own needs aside again for someone else. You never complained. Not once. You just kept going. But baby, I knew you needed help, real help. Not just hugs, and you got these texts. You needed something solid, something that would actually move the weight of your shoulders, not just cheer you on while you carried it. So I made a decision. Behind the scenes, quietly, carefully, I asked questions, made phone calls, got advice, filled out forms. And yesterday, I sat down in that office, looked the man in the eye, and said, "I'm ready to sign." It wasn't easy. I had to prove things, show documents, explain what you've been through, even though you never asked me to. But I did it for you because I refuse to just watch you struggle. Not when I can do something about it. Not when I can put my name down and say, "Let me help carry this too." I signed the papers to clear what you couldn't. I signed to transfer the weight that was never meant to be yours alone. And I know you might be mad at first, because you're proud. You've always wanted to handle it on your own. But I didn't do this to take anything from you. I did it to give something back to you. Peace. Breathing room. A chance to rest without guilt. This isn't a grand gesture. It's a quiet one. It's me saying you don't have to be the strong one all the time. So when you see that envelope on the table with your name on it, and my signature below, believe it. This isn't a prank. I really signed the papers for you. I know you're probably holding that envelope right now. Still staring at it. Still thinking there's no way he did this. He wouldn't. He couldn't. But I did. It's real. Every single word, every signature, every page. I sat across from a woman in that office who asked me twice, "Are you sure about this?" She kept looking at me like I was making a mistake. Like I didn't know what I was giving up. But I smiled and told her I've never been more sure of anything because I wasn't giving something up. I was giving something to you. A fresh start, a lighter load. A small piece of the peace you've been giving to everybody else. You see, I watched you fight battles I couldn't even step into. I watched you carry things that weren't yours to carry. Not because you had to, but because you refused to let anyone else suffer. You've always been like that. The one who steps in, who shows up, who finds a way. But no one ever told you. You deserve someone who steps in for you. And that's what this is. Me stepping in. You once told me you hated asking for help, that it made you feel like a burden. But my love, you could never be a burden. You've carried everyone, your family, your job, your past, your future. And somehow you still made room for me. So I asked myself, what can I do that actually means something? Not flowers, not dinner dates, not another "I love," you said out loud, but not backed by action. No, I wanted to do something that would stay. So I handled the paperwork, got the approval, made the calls behind closed doors. Not because I wanted a thank you, but because I wanted you to breathe again. I saw how you went quiet every time that one bill came in. I saw how you froze when the letters started arriving in red. I saw how your hands shook when you opened your bank app, trying to figure out how to stretch something that was already too thin. You never asked me to fix it, and that's exactly why I did, because real love doesn't need a request. It reads between the silences. It fills the gap before it becomes a cliff. I signed the papers that will clear the pressure that's been sitting on your chest for months. And I made sure everything is set up, so you don't have to lose another hour of sleep over something I could take on. You might not know what to say right now. That's okay. You don't have to say anything, just let it sink in. This isn't a dream. This isn't a joke. This isn't some surprise for views or attention. This is real. This is me saying, you're not alone anymore. Not just with words, but with action. So hold that envelope close. Look at what's inside. Let your heart accept what your mind might still be questioning. This isn't a prank. I really signed the papers for you, and I do it again 100 times over. If it meant you could finally breathe, you're probably sitting there right now, eyes full of questions, wondering how I managed to do all of this without saying a word. How I moved so quietly, so carefully while you sat just a few feet away, thinking everything was still resting on your shoulders. But that's the thing about love, isn't it? It doesn't always show up loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it happens behind the scenes. Sometimes it's a name written on a line you didn't expect, because someone decided your pain didn't need to keep being yours alone. You kept saying, "I'll figure it out, I just need more time. I don't want to drag you into this." And every time you said that, it broke me a little. Not because I thought you couldn't handle it, but because I hated that you thought you had to. I hated that you walked around carrying a storm inside your chest while still smiling for the world, still showing up for others, still pretending you were fine. I saw through that smile. You know, you'd bite your lip when you were stressed, zone out while stirring your coffee. Say "I'm okay" in that soft, tired voice that meant you were anything but okay, and I'd watch it. Watch the way you fought to hold everything together with bare hands and quiet strength. So, I did what I could. I made phone calls during my lunch break. I stayed up late reading through fine print you didn't have the energy for. I met with people who asked a lot of hard questions, and I answered every one of them with a clear voice and one reason only. Because if I love you, and I do, then that love has to mean something. When things get heavy, it has to show up in the middle of your mess and say, "I've got you for real," not just when it's easy. So yeah, I signed the papers. No cameras, no surprises, just me in a quiet room, writing my name with my whole heart behind it. And when I did, I thought about your hands, how they've always been busy fixing, cleaning, solving, how tired they must be. I signed because I want those hands to rest. I signed because I want your shoulders to loosen, your chest to rise without that invisible weight pressing down on it. I signed because I wanted to give you something that couldn't be bought in a store, something you've been trying to give everyone else your whole life. So now, here we are. The envelope is real. The decision is final. The love behind it is louder than anything I've ever said. No catch, no strings, just one truth. This isn't a prank.